Hey, all you sketchy people! Welcome back to my channel. Jack here. We're going to be talking about sketchy people, of course. And for those of you who are new to this channel, what is sketchy people? Why, it is a people watching caricature study that I do where I see people and I notate where and when I saw them, and then I'll draw them. And you never know, you could be next, which is an encouragement to stay your truly unique self, because that is really what makes the world go round. All the world is a stage, and we are merely players. Today is February 12th, 2024, and I have drawn 1,605 sketchy people. And I'm not going to reveal this one just yet. This one's a very special one, and I want to give it some time later on in the video, and you'll see just why this is so special. Last Friday was National Pizza Day, and I got out and had a tasty slice at Please Louise in Northwest Portland. And I made a video a little while ago about keeping a journal. You know, you can make a journal for anything, and I have a journal for pizza itself. So I log all the slices, rank them, and Please Louise was right up there. So get out, get yourself some pizza, start a journal if you haven't, and if you are keeping a journal, I applaud you. Keep going. It is very vital to your life and artistic journey. I also paid Lloyd Center Mall a visit, stopped by a really cool shop in there, and we even went down on Saturday night and caught a Portland Trailblazers game, Rip City. So without further ado, let's get sketchy. Let's go shopping. This building right here, that's my dad's old work. And when we first moved here from Colorado in the early 80s, we lived, actually we're the Motel 6s. Back then it was an Imperial 400 motel. And we lived there for about 6 weeks before we got our house up in Orchards, Washington. So when my dad would work there in that building, my mom would take my sister and I, and we would go to Lloyd Center to spend the day and have some fun and see the sights. Now I'd probably say that the sights today are going to be a lot less than what they were back in the 80s, but I have always come back to Lloyd Center, and I really enjoyed this mall. My wife worked at the Starbucks many years ago in this mall. She's got great stories of people watching. And after my parents got divorced, my dad stayed in the area, and I would come up to visit him, and we would always go to the malls around the area, and Lloyd Center was always my favorite go-to. And I'm really drawn to dead mall documentaries, shows about ghost towns. My wife and I went down to the Salton Sea in California, and it's just fascinating to see places, towns, areas that were once teeming with vibrant population be just so desolate. I find that very fascinating, and Lloyd Center is kind of this really interesting influx place right now where it is a dead mall, but it still has shops to go see. It's a very fascinating place, and you know, it's good walking. You know, when we were in the heat wave last summer, we took our dog Jojo here and just walked around in the AC. There was really nobody here, and I'm always drawn by Lloyd Center. Now, I grew up on the Oregon coast in Newport, and the closest thing we had to a mall there was Fred Meyer. So maybe it's just, I just can't get over my amazement to a mall. I'm always coming back to malls. I mean, and you got a Funhouse mirror in Lloyd Center. I mean, come for this amazing Funhouse mirror, if anything else. Look at my feet. I have 4 legs. And this ice skating rink up here, this is where Tanya Harding would sometimes practice. And this ice skating rink has been renovated over the past few years. It's much smaller, but I'm really glad to see it going. And holy cannoli, look at that Zamboni. And I'm taking this video at about 11:20 a.m. on Saturday, and everything just got opened up. And when I was on my way out, it was definitely much more busy with people filing in. There was an ice skating class going on. So yeah, Lloyd Center is a quote-unquote dead mall, but there's definitely still things to check out. And this shop we're about to go in right up here, is definitely a destination point for anybody who's into comic books. This is Floating World Comics. They used to be an old town. They moved into Lloyd Center a couple years ago, and this is a phenomenal shop. They've got anything from international down to the DIY zine creators to independent publishers like myself. They support big, they support small, they support it all. So if you need something special for yourself in the comic book realm, or even just the storybook realm, there's everything here. And right in here, this middle display, you can come on in and get your Sketchy People books. So check out Floating World in Lloyd Center. Lloyd Center is not dead. Come on in and stay sketchy. And here's the week that was in Sketchy People. You might see somebody you know, you might see somebody you've seen before, heck, you might even see yourself. To quote one Curtis Blow, "Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court." This past weekend we went to a Blazer game. They played the New Orleans Pelicans. Our old player CJ McCollum got the better of us tonight, but that's okay. Still had a really good time at a Blazers game. Always love going here. The energy, I mean, you got fire and laser beams. I'm all in. And all the players got their Wheaties this morning. They're playing really fast. biased. I love the people watching at a Blazer game and even the dog watching. I mean, a dog in shorts and a guy dressed like a Yeti. This is Scott and his dog Snowflake. I talked to Scott for a few minutes and learned that he and Snowflake are a part of the Big Wigs campaign raising money to help end breast cancer. There's a link down below that you can make your donation. And that's my favorite thing about doing Sketchy People. It's starting new dialogues, meeting new people, and opening new forms of communication to learn about each other. And learn about dogs in shorts, am I right? So Scott and Snowflake, thank you so much for taking some time this past Saturday. It was great to meet you. And as always, Rip City.